Caregiving is huge. It is probably one of the biggest, least talked about healthcare concerns in the country right now. One of the things that I think is so important about Nancy's house is that people get to experience what self-care feels like. It actually came about when my father-in-law came to live with us. At that point, he was 90 years old, and we had done everything we could to maintain him in his own home. And I had already been taking care of a number of people in our lives. I believe as a result of that, and people in this field believe as a result of that, I developed an immune system cancer. When you're stressed all the time, when you're busy in the caregiving role, your immune system gets suppressed, and so it's not uncommon for things to happen. The dogs play a really important role in developing Nancy's house. I would walk as a way of getting out of the house and catching my breath. Neighbors would come up and say, "How's your father-in-law doing?" And I'd be like, "He's fine." That's what came out of my mouth. What was in my head was, of course he's fine. He has me taking care of him. But nobody was asking, how am I doing? I started to get regular massages. My first massage therapist was a woman named Nancy Brown. She had a son with autism. And we just had this conversation one day about, wouldn't it be great if there were a place we could go to get taken care of the way we take care of these other people? My father-in-law lived for another 4.5 years. He died on a Tuesday. Wednesday morning I woke up and realized I had just had the first solid night's sleep in 5 years. In 2005, we incorporated Nancy's house as a not-for-profit. Our most recent 3-day, 2-night retreat was at a wonderful inn in Westchester. Beautiful, pastoral, open. We started with the 3-day, 2-night because it's so important to have the sleep. But not every caregiver is able to get away for that. So we do have 1-day retreats. The most recent one that we had was one that we called Holding On and Letting Go.
If somebody's problems, like, they kind of start to become mine. And then it's just like, okay, this is too much. Like, this is not my issue. I have enough going on. Like, I had to, like, leave somebody alone because it's like, your problems are wearing on me.
We were able to hold that retreat as a result of a grant that we got from the Greater Philadelphia Cultural Alliance in partnership with Pennsylvania Partners for the Arts and Pennsylvania Arts Council. We had a full day that was just arts-based. The whole purpose of this retreat was to use dance and movement and clay work to help people get in touch with their bodies again, get in touch with these emotions that had been stuffed down, and to find a new way of dealing with what was happening at home.
Lift it up. Okay, now can we see each other under here?
Yes.
Yeah? How we looking?
Looking good.
Kind of crazy, but we're all here, right? Yeah. And that's all that matters.
Joanna Turner was our dance and movement therapist, and she did an amazing job of helping people to just get in touch with their bodies, get in touch with their feelings.
The movement allows people to be able to communicate, of course non-verbally, but to be able to recognize things that they might have suppressed or ignored in their caregiving duties. Because most caregivers, you'll ask them how they're doing. I'm okay, I'm hanging in, I'm holding on. And what they're saying is that I'm overwhelmed. What was in that closet?
Negativity.
Negativity.
With a capital N.
Ooh, okay, which one was it? This one? You want to step on it? Yeah. You go ahead. She got rid of it real quick. All right, so what about you?
In keeping with this theme that we keep talking about holding on and letting go, we're going to do kind of 2 activities this morning.
Karen Singer is our tile artist, and she and I had created this a while back. We call it Create Your Own Touchstone.
What I love about clay is you press your finger in it, you make your own mark. It's not the same as anybody else's. So I'm hoping that what they make and they take home will be a little reminder, like something you keep in your pocket or you put on the windowsill in the kitchen or somewhere, that just helps you get back to that state of feeling comfortable with yourself and what you bring to the world.
Meals are, of course, a part of the workshop. And there's a twofold purpose to that. One is people have to eat. But the other is the nurturing element when you sit down at the dinner table, right? It's just easy to talk. We are using more volunteers. We need what I refer to as our house elves, people to help with the meal prep and the cleanup. We use volunteers to help in the rooms and in the open areas to guide people from space to space, because caregivers are financially stressed in addition to physically and emotionally. We work on a sliding scale. We keep it very reasonable, but nobody is turned away for inability to pay. There are a lot of guests who tell me when they come to a retreat, it's the first time they've ever had a massage, or it's the first time they've ever done a yoga class, and then it becomes part of their ongoing self-care. And that's what I want to have happen. I want people to know that they have a community, that there are others who know their story, who are walking the same path. And I want them to know that they can step out of that role, and suddenly to discover that you can leave and everything will be okay is liberating.
I think it's amazing that Nancy's House is the only organization of its kind in the country. And I feel really honored to be able to work with them, because you talk to almost anyone and they've either done caregiving or they know somebody who has.
It's support, it's connection, it's resources, it's friendship, it's all of that.
Your space, your breath, your power, right now, in you. Inhale, lift.